My coworkers, Keith and Kith, if there's anything I'd come to despise in life, as far as love is concerned, was dating or falling for someone simply because society deemed her right for me. And yet, in my lived experience, many have been deemed right for me, but I deliberately and stubbornly refuse to get in my head. Bearing in mind that I'm very picky when it comes to who I let into my love circle, I have always been very intent on not letting society choose for me who I fall for, or even the very least get laid with. FYI, I never take getting laid lightly like I've heard among some circles. Meanwhile, as I had observed with most of my peers and many millennials, I thought everyone was like me, a gross mistake of judging everyone by my standards or principles. But time has proven me wrong. I thought it was a thing of the past, and almost hardly applicable to these digital millennials who have made it their natural right, and almost divine that they will choose who they fall for, but not society, a deviation from the norms. Until recently, not so distant from my work circles that one went for it, and fell for someone that society simply deemed right for him. I have also blessedly come to learn, from a bit of inquiries that could pass for research and hearsay, that it's actually a common phenomena among both boys and girls, red males and females, to deem someone right for a friend in their inner circles. Feels like high school all over again to me. But anyway, perhaps I want to believe so, as my inner self continues to tell me that he had already fallen for her long before society deemed her for him, and that he used society as a vote of confidence in his personal choice to convince his heart and mental self that he had fallen for the right person. The way I observed Keith and Kith, stumbling onto coincidences that eventually came to pass as facts and acts of intent, I saw them become friends. I can't say how, but I know they did, and quite gradually, very subtle for anyone around them to notice it unless you were watching each and every of their steps/moves. Personally, my mind hadn't registered anything curious or intriguing until I noticed that they had started swapping phones. I think none of us here needs to be lectured on how personal a mobile phone is, and more especially when it's a smartphone, even for we who always throw around the claim that we have nothing to hide. Ultimately, we always have something we intend to keep to ourselves. Sometimes, not because it's our secrets, but those of our friends, peers, and acquaintances that choose to confide in us with ultimate trust that we shall keep whatever they share with us between us and them. For me, that, among other reasons, is why my phone is considered private. Not because I have anything to hide, but because I have secrets and matters to protect. I owe it to those that confide in me. But by the time you swap phones with someone, it simply means to me that all cards have been laid out on the table, and there's nothing to hide between the two of you. At that point, I figured that they were far down the slope in their walk of friendship. If they were walking from Rabaga Cathedral to Hotel Sejavaro as their destination, at this point they were at the Uganda Red Cross headquarters, if you're familiar with Kampala's geography. In the corridors of our workplace, it had been mentioned more than once during banner conversations and guy talk, but largely, as I perceived it, in a more passive way around the table of men that Keith had been deemed right for Kith. It must have been too trivial a conversation to the extent that I don't even remember who started it. But I guess whoever did must have noticed that the two had become friends or had unintentionally stumbled onto a few coincidences, just like I, that ended up adding to something. Something that you could not see, but only sense that it's happening. But anyway, in all my insinuations, I only know one thing for a fact, that he loves her. Whether Keith feels the same way about Kith, I can only speculate. Whether Kith has opened up to Keith, my guess is as good as yours. Hi everyone, this is Robert K. Circles. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Give us a like on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a comment letting us know what you thought. We love hearing your feedback, and if you know someone who might enjoy the show, please share it with them. Your support means the world to me and helps us reach more listeners. Thanks again for being a part of the Robert K. Circles community. Until next time, take care.